Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Historical Humans Reacts. And today we are looking at an underwater cemetery that was found off of Florida's Dry Tortugas National Park.
Yeah, so this is a wonderful little find for underwater archaeology here. It is a 19th century cemetery that is associated with both a U.S. quarantine hospital and a United States fort, Fort Jefferson. Most of the graves found here are believed to be deceased U.S. soldiers from this fortress out in the Gulf of Mexico. This is, I believe they've identified exactly one grave.
Yeah, that
Um,
of John Greer.
yeah,
John Green. No, Greer. It is Greer.
Greer. No, it is Greer. This is a civil. Greer's grave is a Civil War grave, as he died in 1861. I believe he died on election day.
Oh no.
1861.
Ooh, that's not a good look.
Yeah. Uh, he his what's the word for it? I'm losing it. But basically, his grave marker
Oh, the
was made
headstone.
from this. Yeah, his grave marker was made from the same material as the foundations of Fort Jefferson.
Graywhack.
Yeah, which is just a further sign of association between the fortress and this cemetery. Which, judging from what I've seen in the photos and what a lot of the article is saying, is this cemetery didn't used to be underwater. It got submerged over the last 160 years.
Yeah, which the island itself is home to the base, Fort Jefferson, which housed soldiers during the Civil War and was eventually decommissioned in the 1870s. I believe 1878 was when it was fully decommissioned,
Yeah,
and it was left practically abandoned and in disrepair until the breakout of the Spanish American War when it became home to the USS Maine, I believe, before
yeah,
its fateful journey to Havana.
yeah, yeah. It was it was used by the Marine Hospital Service as a sort of medical station from 1890 to 1900 before again being decommissioned.
Yeah, which quarantine islands, they basically held people off to the side. Yellow fever was a really big to do. Other mosquito based illnesses.
Mhm.
It's kind of just good practice to prevent the
Mhm.
spread of large diseases and epidemics. And I find it kind of interesting because this took place in 1890 to 1900, and then 20 years later, we saw the outbreak of the Spanish flu.
Mhm.
But it's very interesting, and with the island being submerged over the past 100 or so years, it provides an interesting perspective for these underwater archaeologists to go and explore parts that have, in theory, been lost but are still there. And I find it very fascinating, personally, just how pervasive underwater archaeology actually is.
Majority of the globe is underwater, which means that you know anywhere along the coastline is going to be stuff.
Well, and it's more than just like shipwrecks, too, which shipwrecks are cool, but it's
Mhm.
submerged cities, it's things that have sunk into the bottom, it's changing landscapes.
Yeah, and yeah, and with this one in particular, with Fort Jefferson and the cemetery, Fort Jefferson was a limited use United States fort, with which the primary purpose that at least we're focusing on here being the medical way station. It's an island fortress, a medical island fortress. Communicable communicable diseases are a major concern because there's nowhere for it to go except through your population. So, as far as understanding how disease was understood, how quarantine was handled, how a lot of, very basic, very important medical practices were maintained, this fort is a very well preserved sunken gold mine
And I
because
have
of the
an image
limited
of the
space
fort.
in which it operates.
I have an image of the fort pulled up on the screen for everyone to see. You can
Yeah.
see that the island is only consists of about half of the fort now. The rest is protected by a seawall, but you could see where the island has since like fully been submerged. And the thing that is kind of the sad reality is given the events of a lot of what's happening with the climate, underwater archaeology is going to start consisting in a lot more places, especially in the American Southeast, Florida in particular. So, kind of interesting to get the chops up now. Kind of an interesting find.
Well, I wouldn't say kind of. It is pretty interesting. I mean, we have what is effectively a land burial underwater.
Under the sea.
And the copyright strike from the from you know who comes flying out of left field.
I think they're
No
too
one's
busy in
surprised.
Florida, anyways.
That's where we're gonna end it. That's where we're gonna end this.
All right. If you guys enjoyed watching, please be sure to subscribe and don't forget to check out some of our other videos. Thank you for watching.